This episode is sponsored by RF Tiling and Property Development, who specialise in helping people achieve their dream home. RF Tiling cover all aspects of property development, such as bathroom renovations and kitchen renovations, tiling, plumbing, plastering and rendering, painting and decorating, electrical works, new boiler and servicing, windows and doors, and extensions. They also have a team who can help design and build your dream kitchen, so no need to worry, they have you covered. Find them on Instagram and Facebook where you can see all their brilliant work. This episode is also sponsored by Forever Friends Pontypridd. Forever Friends Pontypridd is a group where strangers can become friends. Founded by Ellie Johnson in 2021, the group was started with the hopes of getting people out and about during the tough times of the pandemic. A few short years on, and the group is thriving. Having grown since the early days of walk-in meetups, the group runs on a ton of events, from communal contrast therapy sessions at Tanaroo to wreath-making classes during the festive periods, not to mention children's Easter parties and breath workshops with Reset with Ruth. But there's plenty more. The newest addition to the group's events is the Conversation Club, a no-judgment space where anyone and everyone is welcome to enjoy a cuppa and a chat. This vital peer support group runs throughout the local area regularly and is a brilliant opportunity to meet up with new people, share experiences, and get stuff off your chest. If you'd like to have further information on Forever Friends Pontypridd, please follow them across the social media channels and get involved. Now, let's get on to the episode.
How's it going? Welcome back to another episode of Just One Man Podcast.
Episode 9?
Episode 9, yes.
9 already?
9 times you've come back for more, hopefully. And if it's your first time, welcome.
Go back and watch them all.
Yeah, please go back and watch them all. Give them a like, give them a subscribe and a rate and a share and everything else that you can do. You'll notice we're in somewhere very, very different.
Not as if it's a big sign behind us or anything, but...
No,
it's not.
No, I don't know for that.
No.
It's nice though. Yeah. It's nice. It's more than nice. It's probably, and arguably, Merthyr's coolest, newest cafe and food and drink destination, really. Non-alcoholic at the moment. Yeah, I'm really privileged, to be honest, to be joined by Mr. Liam Lazarus.
Thank you very much.
Who is what's your official title? Are you just owner? Are you?
It's a tough one, actually. Like, when you write occupation, I normally just write barista. Yeah. I think director is what it is.
Director.
Yeah, that's more like...
He's busy taking over the world of coffees and cake and amazing food and brunch and all the rest of it, but apparently he is still a barista, which is neither, yeah. And this stuff, yeah. We'll come on to this stuff later. Shield time in it? Couldn't do that again. No, couldn't do that again. Liam, thanks very much for joining us, and thank you again for willing, and being willing to host us here. It's literally for those
special venue.
Yeah, for those who are unaware, this particular venue that we're in is the old Howfields Bakery and Cafe in Merthyr in the Lower High Street. It's a building that's steeped with history. And to see it transformed into such a warm and inviting and
unique,
cool as fuck place is really good to see. And seeing it kind of not used and derelict for so long. So thank you, I suppose, for doing this, because you designed it all, the look, the feel.
Yeah. From inspiration, obviously, from the original one. I kind of just did everything start to finish. We took it over as like a blank shell. It was like completely derelict building. Took it over as white walls and then just did the rest, basically. Over a long time, mind. it took way longer than I thought. For 7 months of construction.
Yeah, because when did the idea? Because obviously you have the original, the OG Haystack Cafe.
Yeah.
Is in Swansea.
Yeah.
And is also well worth a visit. I will say that. Why Merthyr? Of all of, I'd like, hey, I'm very happy as you. Trust me. I am putting the weight on to show. I am very happy as you.
How many days have you been here in town?
It's been open, 3 weeks. He's been here for 2 weeks, probably. Every day.
I don't even work yet.
It's the loyalty points. Keep you
It's the
there.
loyalty points. It's that black card.
There's another black card. Black card.
But like, obviously, you could have gone anywhere.
I could have gone the other side of Swansea.
Yeah. Why Merthyr?
It's a good question. I think like a lot of people are thinking the same. Like all my friends, everyone I've gone to is like, oh yeah, the second site's going to be Merthyr Tydfil, and everyone's like, it seems like a crazy step because a lot of the people that kind of do okay in Swansea normally just open a second site just a bit further down the road. But the last thing I wanted to do was ever like compete with the original, like the baby, as you said. Like,
Yeah.
I'd never want to compete with that and like ever affect that one. So it just made total sense to kind of go further afield anyway. Merthyr itself's actually it's a quite a funny story. So we actually got invited up by the landlords of this building.
Okay.
Come up, have a look at this site, just see what you think. There was the guys that own Scoot Gladys, have a good name for themselves. They know the Haystack anyway, and they were like, we honestly think it'll be a fantastic site. I get sent loads of locations like all the time, and like half of them I'm like, oh no, I think that's a bad location. But it come off a really good recommendation of guys in the hospitality industry. I was like, oh, they must be talking some sense. Let's go up and have a look. Came up and had a look on like a random Wednesday. Rain, like it was horrible. Like the drive up was horrible. Like the drive from Swansea starts off fine, and then you get to the roadworks and it's just disgusting. So the whole drive you're like, oh, it's actually further away than you think. This is gonna be doable. We rock up on a Wednesday. We look at the site. The town's not too busy. We're still not too confident about anything. And this is about 10 o'clock we arrive. So this was me and my ex-partner at the time, who were business partners, by the time we signed this lease. There was actually a hall. So this was 2 rooms. It was this room, and then the back room was separate. And where the glass is now, in the middle of the room, there was nothing there. It was just a hole in the room. So it was just rainwater coming down in between the 2 buildings. So it was like really hard to vision anything good coming here at all. We walked on the site, and the guys were kind of mentioning, oh, this is the plan. Still really hard to vision, couldn't see anything. Left 45 minutes late after chatting, and we were still not confident at all. Absolutely no confidence. The town wasn't as busy as we thought. It was really rainy, like it wasn't a market day, so there was less people than kind of normal anyway. We're like, oh, I don't really know about this. So it's about 11:30ish now. And we were like, oh, we're starving. We don't know what's around here. We just happen to pass the Nando's, which is over in like, I think they call it like the food retail park, whatever it is, over by the Orbit Centre over there. Thinking, oh, Nando's 11:30 on a Wednesday. No one's going to be, it'd be fine, just rock in. Walk into Nando's 11:30 on a Wednesday in Merthyr, wall-to-wall rammed. And I'm like...
Everyone in their body warmers and shorts.
Yeah. And I'm just like...
You know who you are. I've been there.
What's going on, yeah. And I was just baffled. I was like, God, if people like, there's definitely a market. People like, Nando's is not cheap. Like, people...
Oh, we love a Nando's in Merthyr.
People
If Nando's would like to sponsor...
yeah, exactly. No. And we kind of based it off of that. And I was like, actually, we could be onto something. Did a bit more research. Realised there's like... probably heard of the Cheesecake Guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Craig, yeah.
Massive following. And then kind of, I know it's quite far away, but Hillsbracken is another example of like, just people will travel for good.
Yeah.
And we just noticed that people that are pushing hard, like Hills are pushing really hard to put a good quality product. Same as Craig from the Cheesecake Guy. It's like, people will follow, and we noticed there's a market for that here. And that was kind of the main main draw for us.
Well, I think, is it fair to say, like when you first opened, you, and much the same in Swansea as well, the images of people queuing, like down the street and whatever, and the last time I'd seen something like that was the cheesecake guy.
Yeah, that's true.
In those early days of the cheesecake, where you wouldn't even turn off the main road of the industrials, and you'd start seeing cars parked and people were. It was, So I agree. I think there's 100% a market, but obviously Merthyr to Swansea,
Scary it was.
as you said, it's and again, all right, it's all South Wales, but they're very different places. With different cultures and different customs,
Totally different.
and I suppose it's a gamble, isn't it, to kind of step outside of the area that because you could have gone into a NIF or
Exactly.
Something closer to
Everyone's nice and actually you try them first.
closer to
and instead you're like, no, I'm going to go smack bang in the middle of the valleys and just have a go.
I'm going to go hard or go home, he said.
Yeah.
But the more I was coming up, the more I was visiting, the more confident I got every single time.
Yeah.
It wasn't without being terrified of actually no one walking through the door and being like, this is not what we want. This is way too. That was my biggest worry, was price sensitivity. Are we too expensive? We've got to charge what we charge because we source high quality ingredients. We've got to charge more. And I know we're not cheap breakfast. I couldn't afford to eat in the Haystack every day. I know we're an expensive place, and that's what was the scariest thing for me. We are a treat. We are a place that you come once a week or once a month or whatever. And I'm fully aware of that.
I think that's but you'd rather people come once a week or once a month and come back than be, we'll go there and it'll be all right, and then I'll go back.
Yeah.
But once you got the quality, like you say, with the product, you got the people coming back.
Exactly. That was the plan. But we know we could rely. We know if we got people through the door, we'd be fine. But there was that original. We needed to kind of start with a bang. I think I wish we did.
Yeah, you start done the 1,000 free coffees,
Yeah.
innit? And I think in the sort of a town as Merthyr is, everybody likes anything for free.
Yeah.
But I think in this place you've had a mix of both, where you've I'll go there for a free coffee, or you and you were like, I don't care about the free coffee, I just want to go there, kind of thing. So it's just this is something new in the town. It's something such as rustic as this place is, and it's just so eye-catching, and your social media presence and this, that, and it's just brought everybody in. And it's incredible.
And that's and that's why I was going to touch upon was this, because as I was talking to you the other day, and I said I've spoken to another cafe business owner very recently for a quite a well-known company, and he praised you, and he praised your social media game. And said it was amongst one of the strongest he'd ever seen, and that he said, I've just got to hope that my word of mouth is really strong, but I wouldn't be able to beat him with social media. Yeah. And your social game is really strong, but not only just on the platforms, but even things like the presentation, like the way that you had the build-up, and how, having loading screens on the windows and all that type of, it was just different. And I think, it's caught the interest as well, because people, will turn up to see what it's about.
Yeah, exactly.
You might even you will guess some people will just come once.
Yeah.
To see
100%. And we've had it, and I've never, this is quite right, I've never had such honest customers.
Oh yeah.
The first 2 days we
honest.
opened, very, two guys came in. I was like, you don't do there's no chips on the menu. I said, no, we don't do any chips. We do tater tots. They're quite similar. Well, I've got to say, it's lovely in here. Nice coffee, but it's not for us. We won't be back. And I was just I actually really appreciate that feedback. It's actually brilliant. It's nice than going online and going 2-star, I won't go back. Felt only because they didn't like it. Yeah,
exactly. But yeah, touching on the social media thing again, is that if you are flat out there and you haven't got the time to be posting all the time, you've got little things that you say like on the tables that you use. You let the customers do all the work for you. They'll take pictures and have the logo of the Haystack. Put it on their Instagram, and you go, oh.
And it's a repost, That's massively important for us, that natural organic stuff.
Where did you get that idea from, if you don't mind me asking? Was it just something that you...
That one was something I did in the first... it was actually the night before I opened the first shop. So we had this stamp, but the stamp was for the coffee cups, takeaway coffee cups.
Oh, okay.
So we stamped it white. And I accidentally ordered the black stamp as well, the black ink for the same stamp. And I was like, I don't know, it's our logo on here anyway.
Yeah.
I'll just go around stamping things. And then all of a sudden I started getting on to it. Exactly. And they're all across here, because people take selfies here. That was actually why I angled the guns there. So I thought people could have a selfie, like a funny selfie. Okay. And then I put the logo there to make sure the logo was in as well. So that was just kind of... I think people are going to take a lot of pictures of the food, and if they don't tag us, let's make sure our logo is in the picture anyway. So these are actually positioned not where a plate would be, on purpose.
Yeah.
So a plate would be there, and then the Haystack logo there. A plate would be here, and then the Haystack logo's next. But not uniform, because I hate uniformity. They're all different, and should like different locations are on the plate. But that is why, That is something I thought about, which is quite strange,
Can we reenact it and take a video?
Yeah. I'm actually gutted they've worn off of it. I'll have to go around again. But I love doing it. It's like funnest night of my week.
And it makes people move their coffee.
Yeah.
Just to take a picture.
Yeah, exactly.
I've done exactly the same as I'm like, oh, bah.
He did. I was too busy eating. I can be honest, I was too busy eating. That'll come as no surprise to anybody that knows me. You talk food, right? And the menu. I'm guessing, again, that's your brainchild, you come up with it all.
Yeah, so the original menu was actually a combination of me and my partner at the time, Beth. We started the company together, and we just we actually started, this is quite funny, we started without the full breakfast, because we were trying to be a little bit too early on our times. We came from London, University of London, set up straight away from there. And we kind of be a bit too early with our times on our menu design, where we actually started off with a lot fancier, like a lot more chic and fancier menu. We had a beetroot hummus eggs, and we started off with like shakshuka, which is like a Turkish eggs, and like a yogurt egg dish. And we were like, ooh, we kind of need to tone it down. These dishes are selling. The bacon rolls are selling a lot more. And then we put the full English on the menu, and it's still, to this day, the best-selling dish by twice as much.
Because you find that where you go to places like London and they'll do them niche.
Yeah. But it gets you there.
Yeah.
Like the picture of the Trito stack and all the fancy dishes, get people to there. But like same as me, I'll go to a lot of places and just pick the biggest thing on the menu because it's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
But what gets me there is probably the lovely picture of the steak sliced beautifully. But then I'll just go, mixed grill.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we kind of do. That's what I kind of try to do anyway.
Yeah, because like obviously in March you had the Snowden stack, which when you looked at it, it was like a...
Hopefully like Mount Snowden.
It was like a piece of art though, wasn't it? It was... No, it was like art on a plate. It's like something that you see on like a fine dining. But I get it because it's so... like photo friendly, and it drags you in, that you see it and you can't help but stop scrolling because like, Christ, there's some colour. Go on, what's that? What? But then, as you said, when like I came here, like the odd thing, I didn't even think about that. I just thought, oh right, what's the biggest breakfast I can get?
Yeah.
And I think the first time that I came here, I frazzled your new member because they were all brand new members of staff, and you had to come and manually do the turn because I wanted tater tots and the hash brown. On the breakfast.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think, like I said, it always interests me, kind of how do you get from an idea of, let's open somewhere that'll do breakfast and brunch or whatever, to then creating like these like signature pieces, because they kind of organically become very signature. Like in his presentations, like the fact the breakfast is in a massive wrought iron pan.
Yeah.
It's the look of it. So it becomes that when you come, it isn't just you come in here for a bite to eat. It becomes, as you said, it's an experience. Yeah. It's something you want to take your phone out and take a photo of.
Yeah, and then it's like the word of mouth. People are, have you been there yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're breakfast.
Have you seen a
frying pan?
Yeah, and that's what it's about. And I get that. That's, it's an awesome idea, I think.
So, let's dive in then to your past, if you want to.
Yeah.
Juicy.
So, that's what you said before the camera.
Red in Swansea.
Yeah. Cross Hands, actually.
Oh, Cross Hands.
Cross Hands I'm originally from, yeah.
What was your school life like? What was school and then uni? And let's take us back.
So I started off, actually, I lived in Mansfield until I was like 2 years old. And then ended up, so my stepdad at the time ended up getting a solicitor's practice down at Cross Hands, and we've upped and moved. I don't think anyone has moved house more times than me in life. I think I've probably lived in 21, 22 houses now.
Nice.
Which is obviously seems like a lot anyway. So we moved there, and then I was in Gorsas Primary, Cross Hands. Younger school life was fine. Found it absolutely fine. Then it started changing a bit when sister firm started really doing well, and we just kept upgrading houses, and all of a sudden we were in this massive mansion in Cross Hands, swimming pool, had it all. Wow. Had everything, kind of. And this was my stepdad at the time, did really well. My mum's does really well. She's actually a psychic.
Oh, wow, okay.
Full-time psychic, and she's quite serious in that field, renowned to be one of the best in the UK.
Nice.
Won psychic challenges, did it all. So really successful family growing up. Finished primary school and was I've got to leave all my friends. I'm going to private school. Wow. And I was I think that was quite strange. I was the only one from that primary that went to the private school. Obviously, that was quite scary.
That was probably a big change for you then.
Yeah, it was quite a big change. I was so young. I didn't really
understand what
was going on. All I kind of knew was I was gutted because my friends were going to one school, I was going to another school, but I was kept getting reassured that it was a better school and it was better for me, for my parents anyway. And I was like, oh well, if it's going to be better, it must be better. Until I realised, got to private school, and then I was kind of the only one that's come from public into private at secondary. Everyone's kind of gone from private, which is a very different dynamic, especially from Cross Hands to there. I was kind of the naughty kid, the classic naughty kid from public school.
Well, there you go, but fucking stamp it every
day. Exactly, that's where it's come from. My childhood was spinning graffiti on the tables.
Jesus.
And not that I had a horrible time in school. I think my school was quite healthy, it was fine. And then ended up, actually crazy, family, the practice went through in the second recession, went bankrupt, ended up getting pulled out of private school, then went public college. That was a mental time. And then obviously I told you earlier, I ended up moving out with my friend. So that was the stage where I think was the turning point of my life, was kind of around that time where we kind of had everything, had the world, felt was the cool guy turning up to school in the newest cars, to going from, we got to move. So I'll delve into the full story, why not? So the practice went under, company went bankrupt. My stepdad at the time, which we had quite a love-hate relationship, being the non-organic child. There was he had his own kids as well. He used to come over every 2 weekends or whatever. He ended up having to flee the country because he owed so much people money, which was crazy. My mum ended up following him, and I was old enough at the time, I was 15, to kind of go, oh, I don't really want to move away. So that's hence why I moved in with my friend Charlie and lived with him for 14, 15 months. And the family went to Dubai. But that was a crazy period of like 3 months where he had to kind of run away. I won't delve in too much of the circumstances. He had to kind of just run away, owed a lot of people money, owed the government a lot of money, had to flee the country. Then we had to move out with obviously bailiffs knocking on the door, me and my mum there. Pull away the TVs, took everything. Me and my mum had to move into it was actually our old house up the road we moved back into, which was crazy. Like a weird mental experience. It was kind of strip. I was like, I didn't really get it. Actually, like at the time I thought it was like a little bit exciting / strange / like didn't know what was going on. Yeah, like what I didn't really understand everything.
How old were you at this point?
I was when things started turning sour, I was probably 14, and then turning into 15, first year of GCSEs it was.
It's a massive time.
It was a crazy time.
It's a massive transitional time anyway.
Without
that kind of backdrop.
Yeah.
Of having, like you said, this kind of world, this life that you... as I can only imagine, you become very accustomed to. Because it's what you know.
Yeah.
And what you've been told as well.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't know different.
And then all of a sudden, it's just like, you wake up and it's kind of like, why is everything being stuffed into bags? Where's he going?
Yeah,
and then it's like, well, there's something that's happened.
Exactly, yeah.
When you say the mother followed him, did she follow him in kind of support of him, or was it?
So I think the ins and outs of the relationship were quite confusing for them both as well. I think obviously she was annoyed at the fact. I think it was all under wraps for a while until he kind of had to go, oh, by the way, I've got to move away. So in terms of our relationship, I think she was also quite confused at the time as well. But yeah, it was very quick in terms of days that we knew he was moving away and he had to go. And my mum was left to kind of deal with everything, kind of deal with me, with my school, deal with the house, deal with people, like not even the bailiffs at the time, even like it was his clients at the time knocking on the door like, you owe me a lot of money, My mum was like, I'm just kind of here, he's gone, sort of thing, and kind of had to balance the act of like her hating him for leaving her in that position.
People knocking.
Because she essentially becomes a single mother.
Exactly.
Within a couple of days.
Exactly. Yeah.
And has to kind of navigate these water, but it isn't, like not that any kind of breakup is obviously different, but it isn't even just like a nice clean breakup. It's all by the way, there's some extra baggage that's attached to this particular one. And then how long was it then before she said, I'm
so it was about, we lived in the old house from anything, I think it was about 4 to 6 months until we kind of settled down. But it was so crazy time, everything from like, I was used to like jumping in the heated pool and jumping in the hot tub, and then all of a sudden we used to leave the house and go like, you've left your light on, and run up and go and turn it off. And like...
It goes from a heated pool to like a tub upstairs, like a bath. It's...
And then, like, I think my mum struggled to keep me in private school for another term, which was, I think, horrible for her. Like, it's probably the embarrassment more than anything from her point of view to kind of pull me out. But luckily enough, I had a really good friend with a really, we call it a successful family, who had money, who could afford to kind of take me on, to like take me in. It wasn't without its conversations though. Like my mum was like, do you want to come to Dubai with me? I've decided I'm going to go. I kind of go and see my stepdad, and kind of they're going to try and give it a go, have another go at having a life out there. I went out there for 1 month in the middle of the summer holidays, and I was like, I cannot do this. Went to view the schools, international schools, and I was like, and also at that age I fell because of the position that he left my mother in, I ended up hating him.
Yeah.
I just built up this natural hatred. Which
because you've seen the aftermath of it.
Exactly.
And what was the backlash of him?
Yeah.
I got to go.
Exactly.
Your mother had to.
So I just felt I just couldn't be in the same room as him. I was kind of old enough to kind of understand how I felt, kind of be annoyed.
Yeah, and I suppose, as you mentioned, kind of that love-hate relationship and the kind of, I'm not the biological child.
Yeah.
It goes both ways. You're not the biological dad.
Exactly.
You're my mother.
Yeah.
And there's that,
exactly.
There's that, it's a son's instinct, it's a child's instinct at the end of the day. It's, but then, she goes and...
Yeah, and I stay with my best mate, which at the time felt awesome. I was living with my best mate. Like, we had, he was in the board of the Swans, I was going to all the Swans games, but it was like in the middle of my second year GCSEs, so it also got a serious time as well. Not that I was like super academic, but I never liked failing anything, so I was kind of kept my head down for that as well. But yeah, that was a strange... I think the turning point for me was when I went to Dubai. I think my stepdad got into the scenarios because I think he had some issue. I think he has some spending problems, like addicted spending, kind of that lifestyle.
I think it comes with our type of lifestyle as well.
Exactly. So obviously me and my mum turned up to the airport now, first time we've gone out there, picks us up in a Range Rover. And I was like, I'm not having this. I just can't do it. I just can't really do it.
Smiling in one country for no money.
Yeah, and I just couldn't do it. And I think my mum also a little bit like, not that I have anything against her opinion, but I think she also had a little bit of getting used to that lifestyle as well. Yeah. And like enjoyed it as anyone would.
Well, there. You don't want to leave it go, do you? When you've tasted it, it's very difficult to say, I'm going to go back and, if you've driven a Range Rover around every day, it's very hard then to say, but I really enjoy driving my Ford Fiesta.
Exactly.
My T-Reg.
Drive Range Rovers every day like me. No, really.
Yeah.
But that's how...
That's a hell of a crazy situation.
It is. And
that was the first hurdle I thought was like the big changing point in my mentality of life, was that. I think like that actually plays a huge role in me understanding the world a bit better.
Well, yeah, because you've got
the high life and the low life and kind of being the man. Yeah, but my mum moved back then, didn't work, relationship didn't work, ended up moving back about 14 months later, yeah.
So GCSEs come along then?
GCSEs come along, did all right, went to college in Swansea, Gower College, did fine, and then went to uni. Went to uni in London, did business management in uni. Hence, no, it's actually a lie. My course has no correlation at all for running a company. It really doesn't.
One does never cease, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm interested to know. So you went to London.
Yeah.
The Big Smoke.
Yeah.
Really busy place where you can blend. You can be a stranger, total stranger.
Yeah.
It can be very isolating as a place as well.
Yeah.
It can be very vibrant, but it can be very isolated. Was there part of you that when you went, you thought, you know what, I haven't got to like explain my backstory. I can just be
me.
Liam. I can just be Liam. And I can dictate what the narrative is. People aren't going to know that there's been all this. I can just go and be me.
I think there was a lot of that. I think it probably started a lot earlier, and not a lot of people knew about that. What kind of happened? I kind of kept it to myself, and so did my mum. I think it was the embarrassment thing.
Yeah.
Going from like having the high life to like I don't really want to explain what's happened or like include people in my issues. I think what it was. Whether it was me going there to kind of not explain myself or reinvent myself, I'm not really sure. But it was kind of something I did from the second it happened. I kind of kept it under wraps as much as possible. I kind of didn't go to anybody in terms of like help or anything. It was only kind of me and my mum at the time. Never really spoke to my father. So it was kind of a natural thing to kind of keep stum. And I've kind of always kind of done that.
Yeah, because I was wondering, like, how it informs your relationship with new people. Because obviously you have individuals who know you and will have known the story, and they know the tact that well, if it's someone else who's brand new, how do you say when they, for example, if it's a relationship and it starts getting serious, when are you going to take me then to meet him? A funny story about that. It is
on a rainy day.
It isn't just kind of.
It actually took a while. It actually took a hell of a while. So I met my first girlfriend when I was 17. So it was quite like fresh off the press, all this Dubai stuff happening. And I didn't tell her till around. Like, she obviously knew about my actual father, that we don't really see each other. Like, I hadn't seen him since I was like 6, 7. And it was one of the immediate questions she kind of asked.
Yeah.
And then the stepdad, being brought up with the stepdad thing, was kind of brushed away. I didn't really explain the full scenario, the full story, until about 2 years in, 2 years into the relationship. But yeah, I agree with you, building up the confidence to tell somebody about like the big events in my life is actually a lot harder.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot of it because I don't want to include people in my problems, and I don't want to judge me on it.
Yeah.
I think
and things that are outside of your control.
Exactly, yeah. Or
yeah. Well, yeah, because it's the whole thing is that of being.
Remember him?
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like, a lot of people knew at the time. Like, obviously, I was in the private school where all the fathers were kind of all interlinked anyway. They kind of all mates. All the people with money at the time were kind of all friends, and everyone kind of knew. Everyone kind of knew, and that was quite embarrassing. Like, that's how I felt it was anyway. So I kind of always kind of just go, I don't want to feel that again. Let's not mention it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brush under the carpet.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll just say it on a podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
He forgot the cameras were there.
But I think and obviously, I speak for all the boys here when I say, and we really appreciate you sharing that. Those feelings aren't alien for people who may be watching of feeling, like you said.
Yeah, you're not the only
kind
one
of isolated or a bit kind of embarrassed, and having to kind of wear this war paint every day just to kind of think, right, well, I got to be Liam, so I got to chuck the smile on, and I got to get out, and I got to, and I got to live the life and all the rest of it. And then as soon as the door shuts, it's like, oh my God, right?
I think you get accustomed to that, going being like the second you come out into the public, being put on the persona, being in the public,
and then behind closed doors.
Exactly, yeah.
So you used to find it difficult to kind of open up or be vulnerable with people, because
very, very difficult.
Yeah, because you as you said, because you had to be like on all the time.
It was only something which changed last November, was when I started to really understand mental health and like the importance of talking. Only then was when I really started to understand. Before that, I used to just and even like my upbringing, I was brought up by 2 entrepreneurs, like my parents were all like that, and it was just stress then. It was just like, but they'd obviously be have massive mental issues of dealing with massive companies, load of money, have kids running around. 4 of us used to run around when the other kids were over, and it was like, they obviously had massive problems, and especially my stepdad probably had huge issues. Not I'd never blame him for what happened, but he probably was an abundance of mental health problems. But it was just kind of a blanket name called stress then.
Yeah.
And I kind of only understood that last year. That was through. I'll go into that story.
I'm gonna say, you know we're gonna go for it.
Yeah. So that was kind of the second massive hurdle of my life, was last year. 10-year relationship. So the same girl I was with since I was 17. Went to London together. Met in college. Went to London together. Started the Haystack together. Did 3 other companies together. Kind of like the whole part of entering into the adult world together, like completely side by side, everything. Bought first house, did everything, and that fell through. It's a weird way to put it. That kind of ended last end of last August, really, going into September.
That's the business mind of you, that is.
Yeah.
The deal through.
Yeah.
But it was more than a deal, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was like, it was super complicated as well, because obviously we had companies, we had houses together, we weren't married.
But it was a partnership, wasn't it?
Exactly.
It was still a partnership.
Yeah. And that was when it was the first time I've ever thought, I actually really need help now. Like mentally. Yeah. Like it was the first time I like even considered counselling. Yeah. And then booked in like my first cycle after that, and it just made me way more aware of my thoughts, my mindset, and just like overall mental health. But like, if you asked me to do this 2 years ago, before I've ever considered it, I would have gone, what do you mean? That'd be silly, that'd be ridiculous.
It gives you
Why
a
would I
different
do
reading
that?
on
Exactly.
the thoughts of what's going through somebody else's head.
Yeah.
And before you actually say something to someone, when they actually speak into you, you can actually sort of read them a little bit.
Yeah.
And take in what they're actually saying and what they mean by what they say.
Exactly.
But whereas sometimes you speak to some people and they're just like, what are you on about?
Yeah.
And like, you don't understand yet.
Yeah.
You will one day.
Yeah, you will one day, yeah.
Until you actually realise it, and then...
The amount of people I recommend, like, even if like you don't feel like you need it, just go and to kind of speak to a professional in that field. It's like, the difference I felt after a session was like absolutely incredible. Yeah. Like, I was so confused and so like didn't understand where these thoughts were coming from. Yeah. And it wasn't only the relationship aspect of it. We were in the middle of doing this. Like, we were in the middle of... So I'm always used to having business. So we split all the companies 50-50. When we did we done restaurants, we did bars, we did always 50-50. So I'd kind of do my thing, which is like a little bit more like the design, the Instagram, and like the nitty gritty Beth would kind of do. And then all of a sudden I've gone from signing a lease for this place, so starting the work here, just finished building our first house. So all of a sudden I go from, it's like the biggest life change ever, from having to move out to the house, do all the companies on my own now, and then obviously be on my own, which was the relationship side of things, which was brand new to me. Like, all my 10 years is a long time.
Yeah, Christ, yeah.
So it was kind of felt like all at once, and it kind of got really overwhelming. I was just so confused, just waking up. I was just like, I didn't know. I couldn't string a thought together. Yeah. I was just like, and that's when I kind of realised, I need to restructure things here.
Did you find that it kind of, that it debilitated you to the point where you had to take a break? Or was it the case of being you, as someone that doesn't like losing, doesn't like quitting, doesn't like failing, that you thought, you know what, I am struggling, I am really, but I got to try and keep a face on, and I got to keep this train running.
Exactly, and that was it, yeah.
And it's basically then you got to burn out.
That was the stress of that, yeah.
You got to burn out.
It was knowing I had to get up tomorrow and go to work was the hardest thing. That was the thought which was really bugging me. Like, I've got no choice but to try and forget about what's going on, and drive up to Merthyr or go to Haystack Swansea or whatever it was. That was the hardest thing I found difficult, and I just find myself like not myself when I'd come and make decisions or talk to the staff, or I just was just lost, just completely lost. The staff noticed that, actually, like, the staff noticed. I've got one member of staff in Swansea, and she kind of based on my second mother, and she noticed almost immediately, like, "Are you right, Liam? Is everything okay?" And I was like, I just broke down. I was like, "This is what's happened." The first person I'd really told, and she was like, "Oh, like, it won anything, da 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 da," and then I realised, this isn't a healthy work balance. I can't go into work.
Do you think, like, obviously, if you didn't have the haystack and didn't have to do this and get out to bed, do you think you would have gone to bed?
I was just about to ask that question. Thanks, John.
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. No, I honestly wouldn't. There's no way. Yeah, there's no way,
It was
100%.
The motivation of the haystack name going.
Exactly, yeah.
Kept you going.
Exactly that, yeah. So it was kind of like, it was like kind of a good thing and a bad thing. It was like,
it's like a double-edged sword, isn't it?
Exactly.
And then when you...
It is,
purpose, but at the same time...
Yeah.
It's like, right, okay, I am in a sticky situation here. I need help, and we will get through it.
Yeah. It's a double-edged sword of having purpose, but then also having this kind of albatross around your neck, where you're thinking, this has got to work now. Because it's sustaining you every day, but then it's kind of like, this can't fail. This needs to work. This is like an all. Because
this was still like, it's still a company at the end of the day, and it was still, this is still my passion. And if I couldn't throw it all away, exactly. Because if the Haystack was lost again, I'd just be, I don't know. It would have been completely lost.
Now this is opened and running successfully, and Swansea's doing the same. Do you find yourself looking at this and going, this place pretty much saved my life then, really? Because if without this and without the Haystack...
the getting up and going to work and really massively helped me. And and I know that. I'm completely aware of that. But I purposely worked till 12 just so I didn't, so I could drive home and go to sleep.
Then thoughts you didn't have to think about.
Exactly.
I know, I totally get that.
So it was a massive saviour, really. Exactly that. I just didn't want any time alone. I just wanted to go to work, and just try and avoid it. Probably a lot of it was definitely, and obviously, the councillors obviously brought this out to light. But it was definitely due to the embarrassment thing. It took me a while to let my friends know what's kind of happened. We were kind of the relationship where people look at and be like, oh, they're going to be together forever. And and it was the embarrassment thing again, where I didn't really want to tell anybody and just kind of crack on with what I'm doing. There was definitely
they don't need to know, it'll be all right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah. Or, as with anything, as with any kind of great businessmen, by the time they need to know, I'll have got some sort of solution. Or it'll have worked out, or it'll have fixed this out, and I wouldn't even have to say anything. And then it'll just be one. Oh yeah, it was nothing big. It was,
and a lot of me was like, they'll find out anyway. Which is a strange thought, really. But really, all my close friends should have gone, oh look, this was happened. Can you help?
This episode is sponsored by RF Tiling and Property Development, who specialise in helping people achieve their dream home. RF Tiling cover all aspects of property development, such as bathroom renovations and kitchen renovations, tiling, plumbing, plastering and rendering, painting and decorating, electrical works, new boiler and servicing, windows and doors and extensions. They also have a team who can help design and build your dream kitchen, so no need to worry, they have you covered. Find them on Instagram and Facebook, where you can see all their brilliant work. This episode is also sponsored by Forever Friends Pontypridd. Forever Friends Pontypridd is a group where strangers become friends. Founded by Ellie Johnson in 2021, the group was started with the hopes of getting people out and about during the tough times of the pandemic. A few short years on, and the group is thriving. Having grown since the early days of walk-in meetups, the group runs on a ton of events, from communal contrast therapy sessions at Tanaroo to wreath-making classes during the festive periods, not to mention children's Easter parties and breath workshops with Reset with Ruth. But there's plenty more. The newest addition to the group's events is the Conversation Club, a no-judgment space where anyone and everyone is welcome to enjoy a cuppa and a chat. This vital peer support group runs throughout the local area regularly and is a brilliant opportunity to meet up with new people, share experiences and get stuff off your chest. If you'd like to have further information on Forever Friends Pontypridd, please follow them across the social media channels and get involved.
Do you know, obviously, with all that going on, and then obviously the build up to this opening, was you even more nervous of this place opening?
I was massively
because
nervous,
you were on your own?
Exactly that.
And that was probably a big impact of what was going on in your head as well.
Yeah.
What am I going to do if nobody comes through that door?
Exactly, yeah. So that was obviously amplified to I'm doing it on my own now. And not only that, I had a lot of help from her family as well. So it's kind of where the idea was originated, was the Beth's family farm. That's kind of where the rustic features came from. Then
that's what was one of my
the father was a builder, and helped us with the work and and kind of losing that support line was scary. It was very scary. Not like, it wasn't in a horrible way, but we kind of had to cut ties. Just mentally, and just like it'll just be, it would have just been easier. Exactly, yeah.
But then I think it's interesting, and I think it's nice. I think I've said this before on an episode about how much I hate the word nice. It's just a nothing word, and nice. I used to have an English teacher who used to say, "Oh, I hate the word nice," and I agree. I still agree with the sentiment. But I think it's nice because you don't talk about her in a derogatory way or in a negative way, and I think that the influences, I think you kind of still appreciate.
Oh, massively appreciate.
And it's still a bit of a kind of, well, all right, it didn't work between us, but look what look what people can enjoy. Exactly. And I know that's a really kind of rose-tinted glasses, lovey-dovey way to look at it, but it's like, all right, me and you didn't work, but like through a combined vision,
we've created something beautiful.
Look what people.
Well, that's exactly what it is, and that's, I think, she massively understands as well. She wants the Haystack to be a real success, which is like fantastic, and
that's rare for for exes to kind of still say, listen,
it is,
because there could have been a very different scenario. Of course,
especially like social media and all that kind. This this day and age,
like you can forget about like the name, you can forget the look. It's not, So I think great waste.
100%.
I always find it funny not funny, but when relationships break down after like long periods of time, it's literally the last 0.1% that you end up despising that person. You've obviously liked the person because you're with them for 10 years.
Yeah.
So it's like,
but it's like you said, you're like business partners, not partners.
Exactly.
It's still the relationship's still there. It's just,
exactly. So we kind of understood that, and that was kind of the premise of the breakup. Was completely civil and obviously difficult still for both parties. Very difficult for both parties. But it was done in the right way. It was. It could have turned really sour and south, especially because we had our lives were so intertwined. But doing it in the way we did it was the best outcome, I thought. Yeah.
Well, we spoke earlier about the other side of Liam, in terms of because in case you don't know, he can run, play rugby, play cricket, golf. He did. Yeah, and he broke some sort of powerlifting record. He's one of these people who drags trucks down the. Well, he told you to work.
Yes,
he did. But you mentioned about sport. You were always rugby and cricket. How important for you was kind of, and now you're active. Now you run, you go to the gym, etc. How important is that active lifestyle in terms of keeping you nice and clear-headed? And
it plays a massive part of my life. Like that endorphin release.
Yeah,
I have to feel it. I really do. I crave it. So today I haven't done it, and I'm feeling. I'm like thinking about it now. I'm actually not annoyed at myself, but I'm like, that would have been nice. So most mornings I'll do something. I'm lucky enough to have like a good group of friends. I kind of into like similar things with us, and we kind of all joined the same gym, play a bit of tennis, play a bit of paddle now, and kind of all get into it. But yeah, massively important. I think looking at like turning and treating it like a social event as well, not just sport and like competitive, is like that turning point from being, it's a lovely opportunity to see the boys or to go and do this or have a chat, and the combination of the getting like health and well-being alongside like the social aspect like plays a massive part of my life. It really, really does. But yeah, it's good. It is. I think having that kind of competition is super healthy. I've actually been called back to play rugby this Saturday.
Oh wow!
Well, this one will out by Saturday, so this could be this could be his last testament. To be honest,
I'm playing for Pontypridd Nice on Saturday. I actually have no idea who we're playing. Yeah.
But then like something quite fun about that.
I love that.
Exciting. If I know what I can just turn up and just have a game.
Yeah. I really love that. Yeah,
with my mates and I'll give it a go.
Yeah,
and
I'll just wing it.
Oh, it's more exciting, I actually think, than like if I went to training tonight.
Can you imagine playing for a team? Well, I may play for a different team next week, but it's just exciting.
Yeah. Sign him up.
Yeah. Well, he does plenty of rugby clubs, wouldn't you, if you let us spare end on a weekend. I'm sure they'd like some old academy player who's probably ex-schoolboy, you know, if he was playing.
Yeah.
Oh, of course you did.
God only.
Come on, Joel.
Of course you did. Got a bit of...
He's still got the medals on his wall.
Yeah. I've actually got a real bag, you know.
So normally you get your physical sort of energy going. You still get your mental sort of energy going by doing something else business related and bringing your own coffee out.
Oh, what a segue!
That was a good segue, wasn't it?
This.
Plus coffee.
I think it's a good idea to drink now, to be honest.
No, vegan friendly,
really
powered by mushrooms. No nasty ingredients and produced in the UK.
Yeah.
So vegan friendly.
Yeah. I think you'll have to explain what the 180 milligrams of these things are in there, because I have never used it in my life.
So ashwagandha, lion's mane, maca root. I won't go into them individually, but basically they're what they call adaptogens. They're natural nootropics. So they kind of slightly alter your brain function for the positive, basically. So yeah, it's kind of it's a cold brew coffee, but the main purpose of it is to be functional as well. So it kind of increase focus, stop coffee crush, just make you feel a bit more energetic. I kind of explain it as kind of like the film The Limitless Pill. It's kind of that in a can form, but probably not too crazy. You're not going to be the president of America by the end of drinking it, but
how do you get
good question
to this?
Great question. So I think I've always been interested in like branding and marketing. It's always kind of been my forte, even with hospitality and like hiring and accounts and all that. I think what I enjoy the most and what I love is branding marketing is what I really like. And I've always wanted to kind of delve into the e-commerce field, kind of sell something online. I kind of just see how it goes. Coffee, obviously, from my background of having a coffee shop, kind of felt like the most natural place to go. And just kind of went for ready to drink. I just thought ready to drink market was massively up and coming. People are kind of getting lazier in terms of their food and beverage options. That's why eating out, the outside dining is getting more popular. Ready drinks, so people are buying cans of pop for the house now rather than people buy 2 litre bottles. People don't really buy 2 litre bottles anymore, they buy ready to drink cans. And that's where this idea kind of came into play. And in terms of like the functions, I've been supplementing ashwagandha lion's mane now for around 4 months. And I honestly don't know whether it's placebo or not, but I feel fantastic.
Or is it the mushrooms?
Yeah, or is it the mushrooms?
It could be the mushroom.
No, I think it's probably a combination of the two. I do. Like, I don't know why. I just feel like it kind of structures my thoughts a bit.
Hang on a minute, because there's mushrooms in those farmers' breakfasts, isn't there?
Yeah.
And I feel fantastic when I leave here.
That is that was exactly what it is.
What it is. All right, then.
So is it? Are you going to expand that? So is it just the ready to drink stuff, or are you going to expand into the bean the coffee bean market?
So, yeah, this is just the ready to drink and more functional products we're going to do. Right. So it's less associated with like coffee beans and coffee roasting and like specialty coffee shops. The function is where I'm going with this brand, this Plus brand. So we want to do like, you're going to laugh at this, but we also want to do like a Plus pill, which is going to be like an alcohol replacement pill.
Take the boy out of Swansea.
Yeah. He's come to the right place.
Yeah.
So instead of alcohol on a night out, you take this pill and it'll kind of enlighten your...
Give you the feeling that you are drinking.
Kind of give you the feeling.
That is, if you don't mind me saying, I'm being totally serious here.
Yeah. It sounds like...
If you were to tell people that like 5-10 years ago, they'd say in the nicest way, you're fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But now it's the world we live in.
Yeah, you can do it.
If that you can give that, and you just don't know what's on the corner. No. You just and like there's things now that are trends and fads and all that. All the best to you if you can make it happen, because being on a magic anyway, instead of people walking around with glasses, they're walking around and they're just like what have you had? Oh, I've had a pill. What? But I've had one of his Plus pills. Oh, right, yeah. I had the coffee. Yeah. So wow, okay.
Yeah, so that's the plan with this Plus brand anyway. Is to go down the more function rather than the coffee route.
I honestly wish you all the best with that, because obviously it's a unique thing.
So where can everyone buy them from?
I haven't launched yet. This is probably the launch.
This
is pre-launch.
Well, this may be. How long are we talking? Is it?
We're talking about a month off launching now.
This will probably go just before. So this is quite.
This is
But if you keep your eye out, I'm sure if you follow Liam and the Haystack on their socials, and if you've done already, what are you doing? Because
come on,
that's like just great food. I can just look at, and then I'm sat there and there's like a bag of crisps. 5 o'clock because you've shut for an hour.
On a Saturday when you need to, we go in, love.
Come on. Yeah. Well, but no, I echo Jordan's sentiments. I've, all the best. I think the fact that you're trying all these different things and trying different markets and things that are unconventional, but in a weird way that shouldn't work. Like, I kind of get it.
Yeah.
I think it's cool as fuck.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah. It's different, and I think
people are a lot different though. So
yeah. They exactly.
People are different. So it's kind of about, like you say, the breakfasts in the pans.
Yeah.
It's different.
But where do you ever think? And I kind of, I suppose, start wrapping up. To a degree here, but do you ever foresee there being a day where Liam Lazarus hasn't got something in his eye line and something on the horizon from him? Is there ever going to be a time when you're going to say, do you know what, I'm quite content and I'm got my couple of bits and that's it? What do you think?
It all depends really, because if you think that the culture of everything is changing so quickly, 5 years ago you wouldn't have had a can of coffee in the fridge in the services. You'd have to put one up from a hot machine. You'd never think of a cold coffee. Yeah,
exactly.
And then 5 years down the line from today, God knows what's going to be the next kind of trend. And you've just got to jump on the. I think just jump.
I don't think. It's a great question, and it's like, I think you open businesses to go, one day I'll have my feet up and reap the rewards, but I never think that day will ever come.
No, I really don't.
But I don't think, I was going to say,
I just love it, yeah.
I think deep down, I don't think you want to put your feet up.
No, and I don't think anyone...
But I think there's a danger to when you put your feet up.
Yeah.
I think because when you stop, I think that's when it's like,
wow, now.
And obviously, when you drink this, you're not going to be able to stop. It's prolonged energy. How long is prolonged? Only
about 72 hours.
Only?
Yeah, sure. It's half the caffeine of a normal coffee, it is. Yeah. It'll feel like you've had a full coffee because of the wacky other things.
The wacky everything. He's selling it well. No,
so before we wrap up then, so talking about horizons, is there anything on the horizon for other than that? As in Haystack, new cafes?
Oh, there is one.
Oh, there is one, right? One. Yeah.
So we have just signed the lease for the third Haystack Cafe. And we're going to launch. I kind of did a soft launch. I'm trying to chuck it in the socials here and there. Yeah. It's going to be in Canton in Cardiff is the third site. Nice. Yeah. So just as this is just about to settle down, another one for you to visit. Just as about every time it's exactly the same. Just as one place is settling, I'll just jump into something new. I think it'll just constantly be that pattern.
Keeps you going, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
That's where you want to do every day.
Yeah.
You got to do it.
Yeah, like I suppose, going back to my friends do really well, like AU Vodka guys, and I go to him like, oh, you've done it now, like you're £1 billion valuation, cash in, and I'll go. And he's like, what? I love it though. I love what I do. That's and it's like, yeah. And I don't think that day ever comes.
I just love the fact.
I love your passion.
And the fact that there's no set blueprint. Like, I cannot wait for the opening of Haystack Blind for Stiniog, or like Haystack Anglesey.
I'll have to my non-stop ad. It'll just be like, let's just open at every street corner.
Yeah, I'll have a text one day. Hey, have you ever been up to the Orkney Isles? Yeah. You got to get there by boat. It goes once a week. But we're open 9 till 4. So from what you said about your childhood up until this point now is an incredible journey. I think you've got such an amazing journey to keep on going with. So good luck.
Thank you so much. Yeah,
well done.
Massive thank you as well from us for, as I said, hosting us and being so open and being so honest, like I said, and hopefully if anyone's listening and even
helps you out.
A part of Liam's quite frankly incredible story of kind of grit and resilience helps, and as you said, talk, please talk. If you're struggling, talk. There is a reason why BT used to say it. It's good to talk, and it really is. Yeah, so we'd like to thank RF Tiling and Property Development for sponsoring the episode, as well as our very good friend, who I'm very sure will be making an appearance here in Haystack, Merthyr, Ellie Johnson from Forever Friends Pontypridd. Obviously all the details for our great sponsors will be on the post.
Go and check Rory's workout as well on Instagram under the hashtag, his account, RF Tiling and Property Development. He's done some cracking things, and he's expanded it from just tiling to actual property development now. So yeah, go and check them out. They are absolutely brilliant.
Cool. You wouldn't be careful talking about property development, but that'll be the next thing. Good luck in thinking. Maybe
the cogs are turning.
I did mine last time. I can't do it. Honestly, I can't do it.
Liam, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. Keep your eye out for Plus Coffee. Keep your eye out for Haystack. Go and follow them on the socials. And if you're ever about, come in, have some great food, have a great coffee, and cheers for joining us. We will see you very soon.
See you on the next one.
Bye.